Welcome to the Historypedia channel. My name is Peter and today I'm going to tell you about an ancient world history. The Inca Empire was the largest empire in pre-Columbian America, and it existed in what is now known as Peru, Bolivia, Chile, Ecuador, and Argentina. The Inca Empire was founded in the 13th century and lasted until the Spanish conquest in the 16th century. The Incas had a highly organized society and a complex political structure. At the top of the hierarchy was the Inca ruler, who was considered a divine figure. The ruler had absolute power over the empire and was responsible for maintaining the harmony and well-being of the people. The Incas were skilled engineers and architects, and they built impressive structures that are still standing today. The most famous of these structures is Machu Picchu, a city located on a mountain ridge in Peru that was built in the 15th century. Machu Picchu was a royal estate and a center for religious worship. The Inca Empire is famous for its impressive architectural achievements, and there are many other buildings and structures that they constructed besides Machu Picchu. Here are a few notable examples. 1. Sacsayhuaman. This is a fortress located on the outskirts of Cusco, the former capital of the Inca Empire. It was built using massive stones, some of which weigh over 100 tons, and is considered a marvel of Inca engineering. 2. Ollantaytambo. This is a large complex of ruins located in the Sacred Valley of Peru. It includes a massive fortress and a series of agricultural terraces. It is believed to have been both a religious and administrative center. 3. Coricancha. This was a temple located in Cusco that was dedicated to the worship of the sun. It was one of the most important religious sites in the Inca Empire and was said to be adorned with gold and silver. 4. Coricancha. This is another temple located in Cusco that was dedicated to the worship of the sun. It was known for its finely crafted stonework and gold-plated walls. 5. Tambomache. This is a complex of aqueducts, canals, and fountains located near Cusco. It was used as a ceremonial site and was believed to be associated with water and fertility. These are just a few examples of the many impressive buildings and structures constructed by the Inca Empire. Each one is a testament to the Incas' advanced engineering and architectural skills. The Incas also had a complex system of roads and bridges that connected the various regions of the empire. This allowed for efficient communication and trade, as well as the movement of troops during times of war. The Inca Empire had a complex and sophisticated economy that was based primarily on agriculture. The empire was divided into 4 regions, each with its own climate and agricultural specialties. These regions were known as sayus, and each one had a governor appointed by the Inca ruler. The Inca economy was based on a system of collective labor known as mita, in which individuals were required to work for the state for a set number of days each year. This labor was used for a variety of purposes, including agriculture, construction, and military service. Agriculture was the foundation of the Inca economy, and the Incas were skilled farmers who developed advanced techniques such as terracing, irrigation, and crop rotation. They grew a variety of crops, including potatoes, maize, quinoa, and beans, as well as fruits and vegetables. The Incas also raised llamas and alpacas for their wool and meat. The Incas used a system of redistributive taxation to ensure that everyone in the empire had access to the resources they needed. Surplus crops and goods were stored in state-run warehouses and distributed as needed to regions that were experiencing shortages. This helped to maintain stability and prevent famines. The Incas also had a sophisticated system of trade that was facilitated by a vast network of roads and bridges. The empire had a standard currency known as the chacana, which was a measure of cotton or maize. In addition to agriculture, the Incas also engaged in mining and metallurgy. They mined gold, silver, copper, and other metals from the Andes Mountains and used them to create elaborate jewelry, pottery, and other decorative items. Overall, the Inca economy was highly organized and efficient, and it allowed the empire to thrive for centuries. The Incas' advanced agricultural techniques, sophisticated trade network, and redistributive taxation system were all key factors in the success of their economy. The Inca rulers were known as Sapay Incas, and there were 13 Sapay Incas who ruled the Inca Empire from the 13th to the 16th century. Here are the names of the Inca kings in the order that they ruled. 1. Manco Capac 2, Sincarca 3, Loc Yubanqui 4, Mata Capac 5, Capac Yubanqui 6, Incarica 7, Yahuacac 8, Varacoca Inca 9, Pachacuti 10, Tupac Inca Yubanqui 11, Huayna Capac 12, Huasca 13. Atahualpa. It should be noted that the Inca Empire did not have a system of hereditary succession, and the Sapay Inca was chosen from among the sons of the previous ruler based on his abilities and leadership qualities. Manco Capac was the legendary founder of the Inca Empire and the first Sapay Inca, or emperor. According to Inca mythology, Manco Capac and his sister wife Mamauclo were sent to Earth by the sun god Inti to establish a new civilization in the Andean highlands. During his reign, Manco Capac is said to have founded the city of Cusco, which would become the capital of the Inca Empire. He is also credited with establishing the basic social and political structures of Inca society, including the Ayllu, or extended family, and the Mitalaba system. Manco Capac is believed to have been a wise and just ruler who was deeply respected by his people. He is said to have encouraged the development of agriculture and the arts, and to have promoted the worship of the sun god Inti. Manco Capac's reign is shrouded in myth and legend, and it is difficult to separate fact from fiction. However, his legacy as the founder of the Inca Empire is undeniable, and he remains an important figure in Inca mythology and history. Sincarca was the second Sapay Inca, or emperor, of the Inca Empire, and he ruled from approximately the 1300s to the 1400s. He was the son of Manco Capac, the legendary founder of the Inca Empire, and he is believed to have continued his father's work of expanding and consolidating Inca power in the Cusco region. According to Inca mythology, Sincarca was a great warrior who led his people to many victories against neighboring tribes. He is said to have expanded the territory of the Inca Empire to include the Sacred Valley and other nearby regions. During his reign, Sincarca is also believed to have developed many of the institutions and customs that would become central to Inca society. Loc Yubanqui was the third Sapay Inca, or emperor, of the Inca Empire, and he ruled from approximately the 1400s to the 1500s. He was the son of Sincarca, his predecessor, and is believed to have continued his father's work of expanding and consolidating the Inca Empire. During Loc Yubanqui's reign, the Inca Empire continued to grow, and he is said to have led successful military campaigns against neighboring tribes. He is also believed to have consolidated Inca power in the Cusco region and to have established many of the institutions and customs that would become central to Inca society. One of Loc Yubanqui's most significant achievements was the development of the Inca road system, which was a vast network of roads and highways that connected the various regions of the Inca Empire. The Inca road system was a remarkable feat of engineering, and it allowed for efficient communication and transportation throughout the empire. Loc Yubanqui is also believed to have promoted the worship of the sun god Inti and to have encouraged the development of agriculture and the arts. He is said to have been a just and wise ruler who was deeply respected by his people. Overall, Loc Yubanqui's reign was a time of expansion and consolidation for the Inca Empire, as the Inca state continued to develop and mature into a powerful and complex civilization. Mata Capac was the fourth Sapay Inca, or emperor, of the Inca Empire, and he ruled for a brief period in the early 16th century. He was the son of Loc Yubanqui, his predecessor, and is believed to have continued his father's work of consolidating Inca power in the Cusco region. During Mata Capac's reign, the Inca Empire faced a number of challenges, both from internal and external sources. One of the most significant challenges came from the Chanca people, who were a powerful and independent group that lived in the Andean highlands. According to Inca mythology, Machu Picchu led a successful military campaign against the Chanca, and he is credited with subduing them and bringing them under Inca control. However, it is unclear how much of this story is based on historical fact and how much is based on myth and legend. Machu Picchu's reign was relatively short, and he is not well known in Inca history. However, his brief time as Supply Inca is significant because it marked the beginning of a period of instability and conflict in the Inca Empire, as the empire would soon face even greater challenges from the Spanish conquest. Capac Yupanqui was the fifth Supply Inca, or emperor, of the Inca Empire, and he ruled during the early 16th century. He was the son of Inca Huayna Capac, his predecessor, and is believed to have continued his father's work of consolidating and expanding the Inca Empire. During Capac Yupanqui's reign, the Inca Empire faced a number of challenges, both from internal and external sources. One of the most significant challenges came from the Inca Civil War, which broke out after the death of Inca Huayna Capac. The war was fought between two of Huayna Capac's sons, Atahualpa and Huascar, who both claimed the right to the throne. Capac Yupanqui supported his brother Huascar in the Civil War, and he is said to have led a significant portion of the Inca army against Atahualpa's forces. However, despite Capac Yupanqui's efforts, Atahualpa emerged victorious in the Civil War and became the next Supply Inca. Capac Yupanqui is also believed to have overseen the construction of many important buildings and structures throughout the Inca Empire. For example, he is said to have ordered the construction of the fortress of Sacsayhuaman, which is located near the city of Cusco and is now a major tourist attraction. Overall, Capac Yupanqui's reign was a time of relative stability and expansion for the Inca Empire, despite the challenges posed by the Civil War. However, his reign was also a prelude to the Spanish conquest, which would soon bring an end to the Inca Empire and transform the history of the Americas. Inca, also known as Inca or Inca, was the sixth Supply Inca, or emperor, of the Inca Empire. He is believed to have ruled from the late 15th century to the early 16th century, and is known for his efforts to expand and strengthen the Inca state. During Inca's reign, the Inca Empire continued to grow and expand, as the Inca army conquered new territories and subjugated neighboring peoples. In particular, Inca is believed to have led successful military campaigns against the Chimú people, who lived along the northern coast of modern-day Peru. In addition to his military exploits, Inca is also credited with introducing a number of important cultural and religious practices to the Inca Empire. For example, he is said to have instituted the practice of mummifying deceased Inca rulers and displaying their bodies in a special room in the Temple of the Sun in Cusco. Inca is also believed to have been a patron of the arts and architecture, and to have overseen the construction of many important buildings and structures throughout the Inca Empire. He is said to have commissioned the construction of the Coricancha, which was one of the most important religious sites in the Inca Empire and was dedicated to the worship of the sun god Inti. Overall, Inca's reign was a time of expansion and consolidation for the Inca Empire, as the Inca state continued to develop into a powerful and sophisticated civilization. However, his reign was also a prelude to the Spanish conquest, which would soon bring an end to the Inca Empire and change the course of history in the Americas. Yahuacac, also known as Huayrahuaca or Yahuacac Inca, was the seventh Supply Inca, or emperor, of the Inca Empire. He ruled during a time of great turmoil and instability, as the Inca Empire was beset by civil war and faced the growing threat of Spanish conquest. Yahuacac came to power in the aftermath of the Inca Civil War, which had divided the empire into two factions. He initially attempted to reconcile the warring parties and restore order to the Inca state, but his efforts were largely unsuccessful. In addition to the civil war, Huaycac also had to contend with the growing power of the Spanish conquistadors, who were beginning to make inroads into the Inca Empire. Despite these challenges, Huaycac is credited with some notable achievements during his reign. He is believed to have overseen the construction of the Puente Inca, which was a suspension bridge made of woven fibers that spanned a deep canyon near Cusco. The bridge was a remarkable engineering feat and helped to facilitate trade and communication throughout the Inca Empire. Huaycac is also remembered for his tragic end. In 1533, the Spanish conquistador Francisco Pizarro arrived in the Inca Empire and captured the Inca ruler Atahualpa. Pizarro then demanded a ransom in exchange for Atahualpa's release, and Huaycac attempted to negotiate with the Spanish on behalf of his captive fellow Inca. However, the negotiations failed, and Atahualpa was executed by the Spanish. Huaycac was reportedly so distraught over the loss of his fellow Inca that he died shortly thereafter. Overall, Huaycac's reign was a time of great challenge and upheaval for the Inca Empire, as it faced both internal strife and external threats from the Spanish conquest. However, his efforts to build infrastructure and promote trade and communication within the Inca Empire helped to lay the foundation for the Inca state's future success and expansion. Viracocha Inca, also known as Huiracocha Inca or Huayracocha Inca, was the 8th Sapay Inca, or emperor, of the Inca Empire. He ruled during a time of great turmoil and uncertainty, as the Inca state was reeling from the impact of the Spanish conquest and struggling to maintain its power and identity. Viracocha Inca came to power in the aftermath of the execution of the previous Inca ruler, Atahualpa, by the Spanish conquistadors. He was initially a minor nobleman who had little experience in ruling, but he was chosen to be the new Inca ruler by the Inca nobility as a compromise candidate who could unite the warring factions within the empire. Despite his lack of experience, Viracocha Inca proved to be a capable and resourceful ruler. He sought to maintain the traditional ways of the Inca state, while also adapting to the new reality of Spanish colonialism. He resisted Spanish attempts to subjugate the Inca Empire, and even mounted several unsuccessful military campaigns against the Spanish. Viracocha Inca also oversaw a number of important building projects during his reign, including the construction of new roads, bridges, and fortifications. He also continued the practice of mummifying deceased Inca rulers and displaying their bodies in the Temple of the Sun in Cusco. Despite his efforts to resist Spanish colonialism, Viracocha Inca's reign was ultimately unsuccessful in preventing the downfall of the Inca Empire. The Spanish conquest continued to advance, and in 1536, a massive rebellion against the Spanish led by the Inca ruler Manco Inca forced the Spanish to retreat from the Inca capital of Cusco. However, the rebellion ultimately failed, and the Inca Empire was eventually conquered and destroyed by the Spanish. Overall, Viracocha Inca's reign was a time of great challenge and change for the Inca Empire. He sought to maintain the traditions of the Inca state while adapting to the new reality of Spanish colonialism, and his efforts helped to preserve the Inca state for a time in the face of overwhelming external pressure. The fall of the Inca Empire was a complex and multifaceted process that involved a combination of internal divisions, external threats, and the impact of European colonialism. One of the key factors that contributed to the downfall of the Inca Empire was the internal divisions and conflicts that existed within the empire. The Inca state was composed of a patchwork of diverse ethnic and linguistic groups that were held together by force and the cult of the emperor. This system was inherently unstable and prone to conflict, and the death of each emperor often triggered power struggles among his potential heirs. Another factor that contributed to the fall of the Inca Empire was the external threats posed by neighboring peoples and states. In the decades leading up to the Spanish conquest, the Inca state was engaged in a series of wars and conquests that left it weakened and vulnerable to external threats. In addition, The arrival of European explorers and adventurers in the Americas in the 16th century introduced new and deadly diseases to the Inca population, further weakening the empire. The arrival of the Spanish conquistadors in the 16th century was the final blow to the Inca Empire. Led by Francisco Pizarro, a small band of Spanish adventurers landed on the coast of Peru in 1532 and quickly established contact with the Inca rulers. Despite initial diplomatic exchanges and gifts, the Spanish soon turned on the Inca, capturing and executing the emperor Atahualpa and launching a campaign of conquest and colonization that would eventually destroy the Inca state. The Spanish conquest of the Inca Empire was swift and brutal. The Spanish took advantage of internal divisions within the empire to secure alliances with various factions, and used advanced military tactics and weapons to overwhelm the Inca armies. In addition, the Spanish used religion as a tool of conquest, forcibly converting the Inca population to Christianity and destroying many of their traditional religious sites and practices. Overall, the fall of the Inca Empire was a complex and multifaceted process that involved a combination of internal divisions, external threats, and the impact of European colonialism. While the Inca state was a powerful and sophisticated civilization, it ultimately proved unable to withstand the forces that were arrayed against it. Thank you for listening. Stay tuned.